from the man himself, Oliver Gia. If you're not aware, he is a Kyoto-based researcher, and periodically we've talked about certain topics that he's discussed over here on the channel. And today, here's what he has to say. By the way, if you're on Twitter, maybe consider following him if you're into this sort of thing.
The Wikipedia article for the recent Ace Attorney game is a poorly written mess. The reception section contains nothing about the actual game other than woke reviewers complaining about racism, in a game set during the Meiji era where xenophobia is a central theme.
He then posted this picture of the reception section of said Wikipedia page. I also decided to go to the page myself to see if there were any changes made since his screenshot and tweet or anything like that, and it looks like it's the same. And by the way, if you're curious, this is for the game The Great Ace Attorney Adventures. So yeah, going back to the take here from Oliver, you go look at reception, and yeah, it's not talking about the gameplay at all. They're busy talking about how allegedly racist that the game is. Now, to be fair, they talk about the general reviews right above that, but then they go on for paragraphs again, not talking about gameplay in any way, shape, or form, but alleged racism. So their sources for those claims, by the way, are apparently Ash Parrish of Kotaku and Karen Pradden of First Post. And then you got a little pushback here from Kate Gray of Nintendo Life and Melindy Hetfeld of Eurogamer, noting that the racism is at least a raw portrayal of how things were in the late 19th century. But again, while they're pushing back against the other allegations somewhat, they're not talking about actual gameplay here at all. Anyways, Oliver went on to say,
"Did Westerners forget that Ace Attorney is a Japanese game made by Japanese people? Honestly, I knew that this would happen when they announced it would be localized. The US especially lives in a mentality where merely depicting racism in media is somehow an endorsement of it. Daijyaku Saiban revolves around Japan attempting to prove itself to the Western world, so of course racism and xenophobia are going to be part of that. Japanese devs have every right to tell that story if they see fit. Be glad the game got localized at all. The late 19th century was exactly an era of tolerance in either East or West. To depict that world as anything else in a game that deals with those themes would be dishonest and unconvincing. I applaud Capcom for attempting to tell that narrative. They deserve credit for it."
And that's that. I don't really have anything else to add, just sharing Oliver's take. He knows his stuff. So thank you all for tuning in, and thank you again, Oliver, for posting, and I look forward to catching you in the second segment of the day.